Hey everybody, how's it going? I kind of took this summer off, but Second Dinner just put out a new over-the-air update today. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to get back into it. So let's just dive right in and take a look at the changes. We have three cards receiving a buff today. So let's start with Shanna. Shanna gets moved from a 4-cost 4-power card to a 3-cost 2-power card. I have never seen Shanna used effectively. Her effect is so RNG based and it clutters your board with potential junk. She can mess up what you're doing with like a Zero or an Ebony Maw. Even setting her to 3 power, it just feels like it won't matter. Like 3-cost cards have synergy with Silver Surfer, but you can't waste board space with a bunch of ones. I don't know. It's up to you guys. I'm just going to still pass on Shauna. Forge's ability got a buff. He now adds 3 power to the next card you play. Forge has always been a mildly interesting card, but the +2 power never felt impactful enough to really use up a turn and a board space, like setting up some play. One more power can make a big difference. He sets the new Lady Deathstrike to 6 power. It's effectively the same buff as Shuri, but it only costs 2 and you can play it in a different spot. It might make her a more interesting card. I think just putting this buff onto Mr. Sinister or Brood, it makes them pretty strong. It's a 10 power play or a 15 power play, respectively. I've always been a big fan of Cerebro 5, especially ever since Silk came out. They nerfed Doctor Doom, so that took a big power away from Cerebro 5. Maybe this can give that back. I also love my Nimrod decks, and anything that makes each rod bigger is valuable. I think we're going to see a lot of Forge right now. I think either people just testing it out, maybe just in Surfer decks to buff up the Brood. Maybe you can use them to really juice up Deadpool. That's something people did in the past. This gets them even bigger. Might be like overkill. Even if the buff doesn't land on an ideal target, it's just a total of 4 power, which is above rate for a 2-cost. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. Crystal was also moved down from 4-cost to 3-cost. She gets 3 power. Crystal has kind of been the jokey bad card of Snap for a long time, alongside Baron Mordo. But her recent change in ability, I thought made her a decent choice. With combo decks looking for the important late game cards. I personally was using her in my Nimrod deck. She was pretty useful. She could help you find that Nimrod, when you didn't get him early game. This change, she can be played on 3, and this doesn't disturb your ability to play Shuri the next turn and then Nimrod. So, for my deck, I like this, a big buff. Uh, I could see her being used in Surfer lists to guarantee you find the Surfer, though there's a lot of good 3s fighting for spots in the Surfer decks. Usually those decks need help filling those gaps on like turns 1, 2, 4, and 5 when you can't play, you end up wasting a lot of energy. So I don't know if she's actually going to be usable there. We'll see. Ronin decks, anyone? That's about it. I like that there's no nerfs. The meta has been pretty balanced, so there were no overpowering cards that needed to be nerfed. So I like that they're just bringing some of the bottom cards up. I wonder if they're going to keep looking at like underperforming cards like Baron Mordo or Yellow Jacket. Personally, I'd like to see change because I have an awesome Yellow Jacket variant. That sums it up for today. Thank you for watching. I hope to get back in the swing of things, so check back soon and keep snapping.